to our speaker. If you guys have any questions, please post them in the chat, and we'll open up the lines at the end, or I can answer, or I can ask your question at the end of the call as well. So Jackie is speaking tonight. She is a team leader, 5-star Diamond coach. She's a full-time coach, and she does work this business full-time. Retired paralegal and office manager. She's the co-creator of Boss Babes Mastermind. A mom of 2, a wife, and she has 4. So she's a fur mama of 4. I don't know if they're all dogs or cats, but she's got 4 pets, 2 kids, and a husband. That's a lot. No wonder you were an office manager. You kind of have to have those skills to have all that going on. All right, so I'm going to give you the floor, girlfriend, and I'll mute my line. You guys feel free to ask questions in the chat.
Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. How are you? Thanks for having me. I do squirrel, so I'm not going to look at the chat, but at the end, I'd be happy to answer anything you have. Can I share my screen? Is it set up that I can do that?
If not, Nicola can give you access to share.
I'm doing it right now for you.
Thanks, Nicole.
Give me 1 second.
Sure.
Gotta find your name. Let's see. Why aren't you on the list? Okay, hang on. There you are. Okay.
Get it? Jackie Hart.
There you go.
Perfect. Thank you. All right, let's make it big. Can you guys see? Okay. So you guys, I have been doing this a little under 5 years, and I started, full disclosure, just because I wanted accountability. I knew me, I was that person that would totally fall off. I wouldn't show up. I mean, I was a smoker for 18 years, and that's my background. I finally quit smoking. My husband is a gym rat, and he is not a nice gym rat. He's a very mean gym rat. So we didn't get along in the gym. So I had to have something that was my own, because apparently my husband thinks when you go into a gym, you should just understand how to do everything. And that's not the case with me. And he doesn't have the patience to help. So anyways, we get along really good now in the gym because I understand. But in the beginning, it was not pretty. So we've been married for 21 years, so I can say that. And I've kept him past that, generation to generation type of, thing. So he's staying. I used to be a paralegal and office manager in a law firm in the city of Chicago. When I left there, I had been there 17 years. When I started this business, I was there a little over 15. No intention of leaving that job. 0 intention. Loved it. I was the boss. It was the coolest thing ever. I was paid well. I was treated well. I loved what I did. I actually really loved it and had no intention of doing anything else. In comes a new attorney, life changes, alpha dog changes. It becomes a very hostile work environment. And I was very, very blessed to have Beachbody as a backup to be able to make a hard decision to leave my law firm. So I've been doing this, like I said, almost 5 years, and I have 2 kids. Got that right. 20-year-old, oh my God, I'm giving my age away. 20-year-old daughter, 14-year-old son, and 4 puppies. You guys, they're my favorite. They don't talk back. It's the best thing ever. Like, get puppies. Puppies before kids. Trust me. I'll save you on the gray hair. So that being said, I do this now full time. So we lived in the city of Chicago, and we have actually relocated 2 years ago to the Waco, Texas area. And the only reason that happened is because of Beachbody, because I would have never, ever left my job and started over starting from the bottom, basically. So when you're in law, every state is different, and I just couldn't do it. So we were able to relocate thanks to Beachbody, and this is all that I do. And it was a rough transition. Let me go back for 1 second. It was a rough transition for the point of going from having to fit this into pockets of time, which was something that I got really, really good at, okay, to now you have an entire day. You have to be disciplined because, again, I started this off by telling you I squirrel. I will start working, something will pop up on my screen, and 2 hours later, after I shopped at 3 different stores online, now I'm back to doing what I was supposed to be doing. So you have to be very disciplined in your time and have a plan for everything. Hence, I'm glad I haven't started my office renovation, so you can see my nutty craziness behind me, but I am very organized. Without having a plan, a to-do list, and some type of basically plan, I feel like I can't get anything done. So this is what I teach my coaches from the beginning. Obviously figuring out a plan. And what I mean by that is figuring out a posting plan. This will save your life. Like when I worked in the law firm, I didn't have anything planned. I didn't have anything done in advance. And it would be 2 o'clock in the afternoon and I would be in a courtroom and I know I would be stuck there for 3 to 4 more hours. And I would be sitting there like, I can't even concentrate to think of something to type. I can't pull my phone out. So the way I do things now would have been very helpful back then. So hopefully you can utilize this if you do work full time and you do, if you're a mom and you stay at home and your life is just crazy, having a plan is going to save your life and also give you time to do the important things, which is not always creating the content. Obviously you need the content, but making the connections, doing the networking, getting out there and doing all the things that you need to do. So I'm going to kind of walk you through what I do and what I do with my team and how I teach them. So every single month, I'm the type of person that I literally have to have my entire month planned out before it starts. Literally from what I'm posting about, what my groups are going to be, what kind of free content, you know, what's coming up that is going to launch or whatever, and including what my actual content is. I create my posts a month in advance. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through. You might think that's crazy, but I'm going to walk you through this. So the very first thing I do for my team is I create a calendar that is in our team page every month. It consists of when the challenge group is coming. There we go. There we go. When the challenge group is coming, we run 2 coach expos a month, which is like a sneak peek. We run those twice a month. We usually do 1 team free group. So we have that. I throw out all the, you know, the team calls that we have, if we have pop-up calls, and then anything to do with the launch or anything coming up. And I give that to them and I encourage everybody to print it out, put it on their calendar, and then go online and print out a blank calendar for the month coming up. I'm the leader of the team, so I go first. And I am on top of it before I'm telling them this. And I literally share what I'm doing right here every month with them to give them the inspiration and show them that you can create this habit, you can do this, you don't need me to do it for you. And it just shows all the new coaches coming in what we do. So the very first thing is printing out a calendar and knowing what's coming ahead of time, right? So like for us, we are running a test group for 30-day breakaway. So I always launch with the coach launch because I only sign coaches. So we all are in it for the 19th starting on Monday, which I'm going to die. I don't know how you guys been, if there's any runners here, this is not my thing. And I seriously think I'm going to die. I'm just sharing that with you in case I do. But what we did is, you know, we'll know what's coming up so it'll help us plan. So next thing, after they all have their calendar printed out, what we do is we work backwards. Okay. So we figure out where things are at. So that way, I keep having to move this so I can see. So that way we are able to kind of create our content. So example, we run coaching expos. It's like a sneak peek. It is a 1-day event. We have mashed up coaching videos on all different kinds of topics that run in a 8-hour span, 1 hour. And they happen twice a month. And it's the same thing every month. It's already done for us, but you gotta invite to it, right? So for me, that means that I'm going to bring out at least 3 coaching posts before an expo starts. So that way I'm talking about it. I can put the link to because we put it in a Facebook group. I can put the link into my post under my post. So I make sure I'm talking about it in my stories a lot. I talk about coaching almost daily. It's ridiculous because I lead with the coaching opportunity because that's the part that really changed my life. But I intentionally do this where I am leading up to the coach expos. So I always start with that. And I just pick random days that I want to do it. Now, you know how they say, like, you should post always on this evening of Thursdays or Wednesday mornings or whatever's the best. For me, posting anytime is best. But for me, I love Sunday night coaching posts because that relates to me the most with the 9 to 5, being miserable, having to get up tomorrow morning, having to, you know, sit in traffic, start all over again, punch a clock, listen to somebody tell me when I can take a shit. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I get very bad about this. So the point of the matter is that I love Sunday night. Almost every Sunday night, there'll be something referencing not having to answer to a boss or go to work or what have you. So that's the first thing I do is I line up my coaching expo posts. Okay. So once I have that figured out with call to actions on my planner here, I go to the next thing. And the next thing here was our launch. That's different. So 30-day breakaway isn't an everyday thing. So we knew that 30-day breakaway, we were going to have a test group that started on the 19th. So I wanted to do 2 call to actions for that test group. Now I was dropping things in my stories about, running, and I'm very honest. I would do pictures of me almost like dying. Like, I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. Like, but people that relate to me love that. So I'm very transparent with it. But anyways, so I wanted to do 2 call to actions for the test group, as well as talking about it on the day the test group starts. So I made sure to add that into my plan, and I'm probably going to mention it. I'm thinking, letting you in my head, I'm thinking, all right, after it starts, I'm going to talk about it. And the first couple of days, how I did not die, and do a post on that. So I fit that into my posting plan. All right. So I don't know how you run your challenge groups, if you do it as a team or separate or what, but our team does it as a whole. And we have an ongoing group that runs all the time in both Facebook and the app, because some people like this and don't like this and whatever. So we make it simple, and it's just ongoing. But what we do is we open enrollment on the 15th of every month for the following month. So that way you can be advertising about it and saying like, hey, we're opening up, our November fitness group, open enrollment's going on, blah, blah, blah. We make some graphics for it if people want to use those. So starting the 15th, I start posting about November's open enrollment or whatever month is coming up, right? And what I like to do is I like to do at least 4 calls to action throughout the month for the November, or I reference like open enrollment. So I always do it on the 15th, and then I just randomly pick a day the following week. And then I usually do like 5 days to join, 3 days to join, and final call. It's kind of like every month I do the same thing. So I'm fitting it into my calendar. So this way I know the type of post. Now, just because I'm talking about open enrollment, join us and all of that, I could do it with a transformation picture. I can do it with a regular picture of me working out. I can do it with a picture of me standing on my head. Something with the call to action, it doesn't have to be specific to a certain type of photograph, if you will. But the idea of the content is to make sure they understand they can join us. So still working backwards here on my thing, there's 2 on my thing. On my calendar, we also have, and I do it every year after Halloween, because I'm a candyaholic. Not recovering, I'm a candyaholic. So I love to do a sugar detox group, just a free sugar detox group, and then we usually lead it into a 3-day refresh after that. But so I want to put something about sugar detox on that last week, so then I can invite people, so I'll probably share some kind of, fun alcoholic beverage and talk about candy or something, and then talk about a sugar detox group they can join. So I add that in there at least once. And then lastly, not plan this one yet because I was waiting to see where I buy my content from, if they had anything I like, and I don't. But I'll probably do something where I will share some type of smoothie recipe with peppermint in it and see who likes that, and then offer Shakeology in a private message to them. But I wanted to make sure that I had something out there on social media. So I also put that out there. Okay. So now that I've done all those things and I've added everything, and now I have to fill in the blanks on my calendars. So I am a Facebook and an Instagram person. I use both platforms, and I use them 2 times a day, sometimes 1 to 2 on Facebook, 1 on Instagram. So no matter what, it's 1 a day period for both. So I can add, when I'm showing 2, it's usually because of the Facebook. But what I do on the top right here, these are just suggestions of different types of posts that you can do. So coaching posts, usually, and I do this with my team all the time, where we'll do like brain dumps, because when somebody thinks of a coaching post, I think they think of like a post where it's like, hey, join my team, I'm looking for 10 ladies, which couldn't be farther from what I mean with a coaching post. So, you could talk about, how it's changed your life on a financial and emotional, your friendships, your community, your anytime you reference a challenge group, or, you're checking in with your coaches, you had a great call with someone who wants to change their life, anything. There's so many different ways that you can share coaching where you're just sprinkling it in, that I consider it a coaching post, because you're dropping little nuggets, right? Or little breadcrumbs, they say. Direct invites, that goes either for challenge group, or that goes for coaching, or just join me. I always tell my coaches, you don't have to be inviting to a challenge group or whatever. It's just simply join me to get healthier. Let's do this together and link arms. Nutrition posts, You can share recipes. You can share, tips on, water intake, how to spice up your water. You can share things on your shake, all kinds of stuff. Tips and tricks. Like, guys, when I started, this is no joke, I know how to cook. But in my defense, my husband is a really good cook. So if it's not broken, why fix it? But I was seriously the girl that put the pizza in the oven with the cardboard. True story, 30s cardboard oven, almost fire, just go with that, all right? So that would be a tip. That don't put the pizza cardboard thing in the oven. So anyways, sharing things and even stories like that people, will get to know your personality and they're like, oh God, this girl, if she can do it, I could do it. Your personal stuff, your family, you are not just Beachbody or health and fitness, right? Do you like to hunt? Do you like to fish? Do you like to organize things? Do you like to shop? Whatever it is about you. Do you have an ant farm? I don't know. Sharing your workouts, inspiring quotes, hobbies, your values. I always recommend not sharing political views because we need to be Switzerland. Otherwise it's not pretty. Real talk. These are my favorite. I'm a very bold, direct person. I will address every objection I get publicly because then I have less in private messages. So I like to talk to Karen, you know what I mean, or Felicia, like they're my faves. When they start giving me weird objections. Engagement posts. I just recently figured this out. I was late to the party on this one, but doing some type of post that's going to get engagement. So example, put yourself in 3 outfits, like I just did this one recently. I went into a fitting room with 3 outfits, took 3 pictures and said I walked out with 1. What do you suggest? And like 500 people want to tell you how to dress, right? Long time ago, I asked like, how do you get your dog not to eat shit? Like everybody knew how to do that. That was amazing to me. Like my favorite was go pick it up. Duh, like, all right. But anyways, the point is get an engaging post out there that people are going to, because they love to tell you what to do, how to dress you, what you should eat, where you should go. Get people talking, even if you don't really truly care, like you don't need to know it, but it's a topic that people are going to talk about. And do that engagement post earlier in the day before an important post you want to put out there. And that's specifically Facebook driven because it'll show your stuff to more people, okay? Because Facebook's happy, the algorithms are happy and all that good stuff. And then lives, right? Lives in our stories, lives on the platform. Lives are important. So anyways, bottom line is fill in the blanks. Figure out what you want to do. For me, coaching goes almost every single day, no matter what, in some way, shape, or form. But I just filled in some examples here. So Friday the 2nd, go live with tips on how to stay on track for the weekend. The Saturday is going to be an engagement post of some sorts to ask for advice. I already had something on the 4th. The 5th is share a fall craft for the kids. More coach stuff, and then real talk, address an objection, share a recipe, family, marriage advice, so on and so forth. You're filling in all of the blanks. Okay. Then you have a posting plan. So you're good. You know what you're going to post about. So you're not like, oh my God, it's Thursday at 7 o'clock at night. I don't know what to post. You have a plan. I take it a bit further. Okay. I start to create my content. Now, if you've been doing it a while, there's this beautiful thing called memories on Facebook that comes up with your old posts. And no one's going to remember you did them. You could do them again with a different picture if they were successful. If they flopped, probably not a good idea. But if it was something good, you can reuse that stuff, right? Like I reuse and, recycle things that are very beneficial. And what I end up doing here is I start to create my content and then I store my content. So I create a Facebook group that I'm the only person in it, and you can call it whatever you want. And I go in there and I create a post for every day of the week. And then I create different posts for different topics like coaching, direct invite, nutrition, all these things. I put them in units, so days of the week and topics. And when I go to create my posting plan, what I do is as I'm creating my content, okay, I will literally put it underneath whichever day it is. So I don't know what days are what, but Sunday is the 1st. Whatever the posting content is, it'll go under Sunday in the comments. It'll be like the 1st coaching : drop the content. And I literally do it for the entire month. Now, Am I married to this posting plan? Absolutely not. If I'm outside and my husband decides to pick up a pig walking down the street, which doesn't happen, I don't know where that came from, and he starts dancing around with the pig, we're probably going to video that and put it on social media and skip whatever was supposed to happen today, because that's awesome. You know what I mean? Like you can improvise, and whatever you've created, you can use at a later time, but at least you're set. And especially if you're busy, it's done. Like I tell my coaches, take 4 or 5 hours on the course of a weekend, so that way you don't have to do it for an entire month, and it's done. And then I live off alarms. Everything in my life is an alarm. I swear my alarm goes off all the time, but it's reminding me by 8 o'clock at night, if I have not posted, to go grab it and post. And I don't have to think about it. I just go in there, copy, paste. Now, another little tip that I do is I do photo shoots. So I have a background in photography. So it's really hard though to do your own and get it the way you want to. But the point is that I'll have fun days once a month, once every other month, depending how much you can get done. And I will lay out 5, 6, 7 outfits, from bathing suits to workout clothes to dresses, formal to a sundress to pants to like comfy clothes, cute pajamas, whatever. And I will walk around my house and I will stage photos of me working, me sitting, me with my dogs, me doing whatever. I go in my backyard, and then I find places around my home. So there's like an arboretum right down the street that I can use. They're just different, like there's a lot of forests around here. So I can, you go find places that you can take some pictures and you store your pictures, right? So that way when you have your content, you can just match them with photos. So that's what I've got for you. I know it's like a lot, but as far as like having a plan and putting it all together, once you do this, your life is going to feel so much more controllable. And then you can concentrate on doing your invites, on building your network. I was the person who like really, sorry guys, I got a new tattoo and it's like shedding and driving me nuts. I was the person who like despised Instagram when it first came out. Like I was like anti, like, nope, don't want it. Don't tell me, I don't care. And it took me over a year to even attempt to really learn it. And now I absolutely love it. Like I love it more than Facebook and all of that. So when it comes to like photography and all of that with your photos and your content and stuff, having all that fresh is really important too, almost as important as the content. Because if you don't have good photos to put out there at the time, it's really appealing, obviously, with Instagram. So treating that almost as important as your content and storing it and collecting it in time is something that's really important. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And I'm going to take a breath. And I'm going to look at the comments. And if anybody wants to talk to me, I don't bite. Let's go. Oh, I can't give you a puppy, Michelle. I'm sorry. I love them all. And they were very expensive puppies.
What kind of puppies are they?
They're called walruses. They are half Basset Hound, half Shar Pei. They are from Chicago. Nobody out here in Texas knows what they are. These vets are like, oh my good God. Like they're beautiful dogs. But they're just, I can't, Michelle. I'm so sorry.
So
yes, Holly, I'll tell you something that'll really, really, really help with the transition. And that is setting yourself up with pockets of time in your day at home. So I have to schedule in, walk away from this office, go do the laundry. All right, you're done at 11 a.m. You're going to run your errands. You can come back in here if you need to at 1:30. So I literally have to force myself, or I'll sit in here all day because my kid is grown. You know what I mean? Like I don't have somebody I have to go like babysit. And I don't have things I have to go run and do. So I have to really discipline myself. And like I said, if I don't, 3 hours later, I've spent hundreds of dollars on different shops and I didn't get any of my stuff done. What my day looks like. So my day looks different every day, but usually I work from, I get up and I try my best to do my workout. I don't wake up really early. And I know a lot of people are like, you should get up early and do all these things. And that's great. But I worked really hard not have to get up anymore really early. I used to get up at 5:30 every day. I don't have to anymore, so I choose not to. That's my choice. But I am out of bed by 7:30 because of my son. And then I try to do my workout right away. And once I get all of that done, my personal development, and I also get my story followers done. Like I reach out to everybody who watches my stories while I'm drinking my Energize and all that good stuff. Do my workout, come in my office, and I usually have calls. So on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, I'll do calls in the morning with like new coaches, training calls or potentials I try to set. I try to avoid the evenings, but I understand it is a necessity because like when I started, I couldn't do day calls. So I do know that, we do have to do night stuff, but I try my best to keep it all during the day if I can. And then I will work until usually about noon. And my days, like my Mondays, it's almost all day because I have team calls and I have stuff but I do that intentionally because then Tuesday's a little bit lighter. Wednesday, I do almost nothing because my husband doesn't work on Wednesdays. And apparently I have to entertain. So I don't really get to go in my office a lot on Wednesdays unless he's preoccupied with something. So I have to work really hard Monday, Tuesday with the assumption that I don't have a lot of time on Wednesdays. Thursdays, I'm back at it. Fridays are next to nothing. I don't do anything on Saturdays except like scan my messages for coach stuff. And then Sundays I do work. And it's just because it's what I'm accustomed to since I've started this business. Sundays have always been my biggest day with sales. I don't know why, but I also, meal prep, grocery store, all of it. It's just kind of like a Sunday thing.
I love that you pointed that out because Sundays I've kind of let that pass because back in the day when I first started coaching, posting on Sunday night was like prime time because that's when a lot of people are going to bed and getting ready for the work week. And
they don't wanna.
No, I didn't want to.
Okay.
I have a question. So you are super organized, which is not my superpower. I wish it was, but it's not. What is your game plan or what do you do in terms of Control Freak coming out towards the end of the year? How do you start preparing yourself, your team, your social media so that you are ready to launch this program?
Absolutely. So because we don't know yet, I'm assuming we're going to find out today, tomorrow, next day or whatever, what the launch is. But I've heard that it's coaches at the very end of December with like a launch, with like you can get access on the 4th of January is what I think I've heard after I've read a whole bunch of stuff. But they're going to say what it is. So as far as that goes, I purchased from Mompreneur the actual launch packet just because I don't have the time to recreate the wheel and it's well worth it. And I put together a Facebook group and I usually do it at least, as soon as it comes out that they're available. So if we get it out 6 weeks in advance, we're going to shoot it 6 weeks in advance. You know what I mean? But I think it's going to be more like the 4-week mark. And for me personally, we just actually put this together. We have a plan because we're trying to hit elite. Okay. So we need 37 points to hit elite. So it's really focusing in on these things. So we're doing some really cool things. So we can't launch no matter what. We can't talk about 9-week until right after Thanksgiving because we're doing something called Cash for Christmas, which is like, and this is the 3rd time I've done a split the pot. We've done them pretty big where they've got up to almost $5,000. We've done it with a couple teams and everybody bets on themselves, whether it be $20, $40, whatever. 6 weeks, we do like a Facebook group and we like pump you up. You have to check in with your tracker, do all these things. We get guest speakers and you have to rank advance. So we've got that going from November 5th through December 17th. So we can't intertwine some certain things that we're doing we'll mess it up. So it'll be right after. But as soon as I have the content, I usually set up the Facebook group. The team is on board. I have a working coach only page and we're in there and I'm giving them posting ideas. I'm giving them like a timeline. Same thing you saw with the calendar. I reverse engineer it and I give it to them as soon as we've got it figured out. So they know that this is where we're going. But I also really encourage people, because you ever get coaches that are like, I got to wait for this program. No. We want to start now because they'll give them discount coaches for the unlock and everything, right? We want them in there now. So that we're going to reverse engineer and I usually just give it to them and we just kind of go from there. And we also, the stories is big. I even do a posting plan for the stories for everybody. We have pods. So I'll be like, okay, this should be in the next couple of days. This should be in the next couple of days. So I should have a virtual assistant for all the crap I do, honest to God. but it's so, just because it is something that I'm good at, I don't think I could give it away because I don't think it would be done right. You know what I mean?
I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. Here, you take it. You're better at it.
I love that.
So even for myself, I'm starting 80-day obsession on Monday, which I'm a little nervous about because I've been doing T25 and things that are shorter and yoga. And so trying to drum up some autumn love across my followers who have seen me do her program. So that's kind of my game plan. And then I actually just messaged our diamond leaders if anybody wants to collaborate with coming up with a good plan with Control Freak. I think it's important to be thinking further ahead because that is that January mark that I was talking about earlier in the call.
I don't know if you've ever done that, Mompreneur,
Yeah.
but her launches are fairly good. Like I've done Bar Blend. I didn't buy 30-day breakaway because I didn't have enough coaches jumping on board for that. We created our own, you know what I mean? Like we did the same concept, but it wasn't. But for when she gives you everything, it walks you through like from doing your emails, your newsletters, and all of it. So you could hit every single, section of, from stories to this to that. So I actually think it's brilliant. And then you just kind of fill in the pieces. So when we're doing like a launch group, one of the things that I absolutely love is when the sample comes out, we run probably anywhere from 5 to 7 Zoom parties where everybody jumps on, do the sample together. And if they show up, they get an entry into a raffle. I usually give like a sample packet away or something. But if they post on their social media and they tag their coach and they rev it up, we will send them automatically a couple samples, like a couple energized or something. You know what I mean? So everybody, like, that really brought excitement. And then we usually have, for every program since Morning Meltdown, we've had like some type of, what is the name of that company? Club Fitwear. It's a tank top company where the shirts are like $6.99 or whatever. Anybody who signs up on the first day of the launch, they would automatically get a tank. And then if they signed up anybody who signed up in the first 5 days of the launch, we would do like a raffle for a 3-day refresh. So there were extra incentives to get everybody in there, and like that really built it up. You know what I mean? So that's kind of something that we've done that I plan to, obviously. I think my opinion, this 9-week is going to be bigger than these other launches have been. And I really think like the MBF was big.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I agree 100%. What, one of my last questions, unless somebody else has a question, you have a new coach sign on, because we have 2 brand new coaches on the call tonight, like they just signed up tonight.
yay, that's awesome. Welcome, ladies.
You have a new coach that just joins your team or joins you as personally sponsored. What do you say is the like first 3 things they should be doing as a brand new coach?
Oh, well, I'll give you the first 2. I make mine do. The very first thing, I don't get on a new coach call until they do these first 2 things. And the first thing is doing a coming out post within 24 hours of signing up. So I tell them your coming out post has to have 3 things. You have a picture of you, that's recent. You have to tag me in it. And then basically it could be 5 sentences or 50 sentences, whatever it is. I have to know when I read it. A person has to know when they read it that you have decided to become a coach and that you can help people. And then I have like a create your story little graphic that kind of gives some like guidance. And I say, here's something that you can kind of read over that might help you craft whatever you want to share. Let me know after you do that. So then they'll do it within usually they do it within the 24 hours. If they don't, it's not somebody who's really serious, but unless something, of course, they signed on and their kid graduated today and they have a party, there's exceptions to every rule, of course. Then once they do that, I tell them they have to come up with a list of 50 to 100 people. And I give them the memory jogger. And I tell them that to send me a screenshot of it or send me a picture of it or whatever. And then after that, then I get on a call with them. And that's when I find out what their goals are, what they want, what their platform is. And then I kind of guide them. I give them 2 training calls. I used to have like more, but I've really tried to simplify it as much as I can because this business isn't hard. You're sharing your journey. You're asking people to join you and you're telling them, let's go. And we're having fun. We're getting results and let's go find more people to do this with us. Like it's that simple. And all the other things are just logistics logistics. You know what I mean? Like I do three-way three-way messages. Again, very short and simple. I have a landing page that shows the program with the accountability group and all of it. So they see how I do it. They see how I explain pricing, discount coach, boom, go after about 10 of them. I mean, go. So that's it. I try my best to just keep it as simple as possible, but I won't get on the call with somebody unless they do those two things. They got to have skin in the game.
And what is your favorite PD book?
Get Over Your Damn Self.
She just came out with another one too.
I know, I didn't like it. I believe you me, I read it right away when it came out. It did maybe because when I read Get Over Your Damn Self, it was so early in my journey and it just spoke to me and lit a fire under me that I was looking for that same kind of spark. And I'm in a total different place now than I was 4 years ago. You know what I mean? So maybe that's why, but that's my favorite personal development. And then I would say Build to Last, honestly, is probably my favorite professional development book, just because it's written for our business, right? Like our company's business. And it's just so well written.
Good to know. I haven't heard that one.
You have not heard? Okay. Build to Last by Keith Callahan. He's a Beachbody coach. It is phenomenal book.
Okay. I know Keith.
Phenomenal. And then somebody asked, how do I find new people to reach out to recruit on my team? So Kim, are you on Instagram or Facebook? Is it more Facebook or Instagram? Both. Okay, Instagram, when I intentionally go look for people to recruit versus people to join my challenge group. So I work different influencers pages that I relate to, and I go through their content, their posts, and anybody whose page, their Instagram page, I can see that their fitness, I reach out to them. Well, once I realize, okay, yeah, this person's page, and I don't spend a lot of time on this. I glance, are they sharing their fitness journey? They are awesome. I'm not afraid if they're a personal trainer, they own a gym, they're a fitness instructor, because we have so many of those that are Beachbody coaches that do both. You know what I mean? So you can't let that scare you, I guess. And I reach out to them. I'll when I know it's someone I want to reach out to, I like 5 or 6 of their photos. I immediately reach out to them and I say, hey, happy Tuesday, whatever. And I'll say, girl, I was checking out your page and you are so inspiring. Are you a coach too? That's it. And it just starts and we just conversate. I actually just started this method the end of September, and I have signed 7 coaches, working coaches. Nobody just coming in the challenge group, 7 working coaches on this new way of reaching out to people. And again, it's only people who are sharing their fitness journey, because here's my logic. I don't have to explain to you that you need to share your journey because you're already doing it. I just needed you to understand that now this is a platform you can use. These are products you can use. Let's use them. Let's share them. And now you can help more people. So that's what I've been doing on Instagram, and it's working very well. As far as Facebook goes, one of the biggest and the only ways I've really ever networked and grown through Facebook to find people, but it wasn't intentionally for coaches, it was for people in general to help, was when we run these free groups every month, whether it be a crackpot, sugar detox, whatever. I would go into different Facebook groups. So mom groups, buy and sell groups, whatever. And it doesn't have to be local to you. Like I really want a team that's everywhere. Half of my team is Canadian. I've never even been to Canada. It's the coolest thing ever. But what do you call it? I would go into a Facebook group and I would be like, hey, back by popular demand is our 7-day free crockpot group. Holiday specials or holiday treats or whatever. If you want to be added, drop a gingerbread below or whatever. And then as people would drop their emoji, I would respond and be like, hey, awesome, send me a friend request so I can add you to the group. And then I would be connected to them. I would give them value. And when the group was over, I reached out to every person, thanked them for being a part of it, and then told them that I run these accountability groups. You have goals, I can help you, kind of thing. That's how I built up Facebook for all the years. That was like my biggest way, besides just, adding friends of friends and stuff like that. But nothing, I can't even compare what I'm doing now on Instagram to that, because I wouldn't even know how to do it in Facebook, honestly, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's it. Same. exactly how I would approach Facebook, and how I approach Facebook for the past 7 years.
Mm-hmm,
I haven't
mm-hmm.
done a free group in a long time, but that was the beginning of my coaching journey, was free groups, giving them value. And then as soon as it was over, letting them know that I ran an accountability group. And then IG, actually, Christina messaged me tonight. I didn't realize this, but I connect with other influencers that are outside of my fitness network, and whatever value they've added to my life, I thank them publicly. I kind of sprinkle it in there, not all the time because that would be annoying to my followers. And I did it once on Holly Woodward, which is one of my girls that I follow, and she makes me buy way too much stuff. And Christina's on our team, and she's Diamond, because Holly shared my video, and then Christina started following me, and then she joined her team, and now she's one of our diamonds, which helped our team go elite this year. Like, it's crazy how that networking and those connections can happen, but you gotta put yourself out there.
Absolutely. Oh
For
my
stuff
God.
to be here. So super cool.
And Holly asked, once you initiate the conversations, how do you approach someone who is a trainer or a gym owner? Well, when I ask them if they're a coach, if they say yes, I don't really know. Does that mean they're a Beachbody coach? Does that mean they're a coach in a gym? Like, what does that mean? I should be like, that's so awesome. How long have you been coaching? And then I let them tell me. And then I say, that's so cool. And then I say, I've been a Beachbody coach for over 5 years. It started as a side gig. Now it's my full-time thing. It's been a wild ride. Are you familiar with Beachbody? And then they say yes, no, whatever. And if they say no or yes, or however it is, then I immediately say, well, I'm looking to expand my team. I think you would be perfect for it. I mean, you're already sharing on social media. I don't even acknowledge, we already have your gym. If they're interested, because I just signed somebody recently who's a scientist. If I would have known before I signed her that she was a scientist, I would have been intimidated. I can't talk to a scientist. She's too smart. You know what I mean? So don't be afraid of people. They're no different than you, and let them tell you no. Let them tell you no. It's okay. They get to decide. And throughout all this, you may get people. I was just telling my team this yesterday. I had some lady chew me out like nobody's business. She made it her business to try to make me feel like garbage because she was. And it's so funny because she was a Beachbody coach years ago. In the midst of all of her ripping into me, it was well, I did it. And it's oh, so it didn't work for you. So that's where all this is coming from. But I just killed her with kindness. And I just told her at the end, because she was like, oh, I hope you see through your pyramid scheme. And if you were smart enough, you'd go get a certification, all this. And I just said, well, I'm really happy that you have so much success. And I'm really happy that I have so much success. So I just hope you keep sharing, because you're inspiring so many, and you have a wonderful day. Don't let people drag you down, because believe you me, if I let somebody stop me, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. You know what I mean? And people wouldn't be joining. So if you have 1 or 2 people along the way, or even 10 along the way that are total whatevers, don't ever let that stand in your way, because you're not doing anything wrong. And if they have an issue, that's on them. That's not you.
Yep. Totally agree. Any last questions for Jackie tonight? Because I know it's going on almost 10 o'clock. And some of us do get up super early and work out, or trying to, aspiring to.
I love it.
Any last questions? Everybody said thank you. Thanks for the information. Kelly's yawning. She's ready to go bathe. Cash for Christmas. Yeah, I haven't done that one in a long time. I should do that. Pull that one out again. She said her favorite PD for fear. Last one.
What's my favorite PD for fear? Well,
I think Get Over Your Damn Self's kind of addressed.
I think so too, because I honestly, I have not read anything specifically on that topic, because I don't have that personally. But I would say Get Over Your Damn Self will help you. And then I have a girl who read that Fear is Your Homebody. Is that it? Fear is Your Homebody or something? I don't remember. I apologize. I don't have the perfect answer for that one. Homeboy. Fear is Your Homeboy. See, I was close.
There's also Fear of Failure by John Maxwell.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Which is a really good one. But you guys, when it comes to fear in this business, it's usually related to not tapping into your own health and fitness journey. Because when you're I rarely am I afraid to talk to somebody about coaching or starting my challenge group. especially starting my challenge group, because I know what this has done for my health and fitness journey. And when you have had that transformation and that experience in terms of what it's done for you, it's really hard not to be like, well, I think it's awesome because like, look, like I shredded, I feel amazing, I've got energy, I've got other moms that are doing this with me, it's fun, I've got community, like why wouldn't you want to join this? And I don't get scared when it comes to that conversation. I know coaching conversations can be a little intimidating when you don't have the fruit of your labor yet and you're still putting yourself out there and you got $40 paychecks coming here and there. But that is leaning into your team and knowing that you're plugged into an incredible community of women, that knowing that if you sign this coach up, who knows what they could do. They could be the next top coach in this network. I mean, don't hold that back from that person who might have incredible potential because of your own fear. And I try to think of it that way, is that person that I sign, like Brittany's on, it's her very first time ever being on a team call. She could be the next Melanie Mitro for all we know, right? But she's here tonight because I wasn't afraid to talk about coaching with her, even when it just started out with a fitness conversation. So awesome sauce. Jackie, you are amazing. Thank you for being so organized and so honest with us. I hope you guys were inspired tonight. Take action. I'm going to get that dry erase board up and it's going to be utilized and used. So have a great night, everybody. And I will see those of you in the morning for a workout.